Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. So far we have 15 attendees. Um, and I got to tell you, it's very weird to be just talking to my laptop and not seeing anybody's face. Um, for those of you that don't know me, which I'm not sure how many of you there are, but my name is Catherine. I work with the Goodwill counseling team, and I've been with Goodwill about 2 years. I started out as an intern, and now I'm a full-time mental health counselor. I typically work out of the GCC, and I have been doing a live meditation group there for, like I said, about 2 years. It started up in July of 2018. So this is my first time doing anything like this virtually, and I'm excited about the opportunity to learn something new. But yeah, I ask that you bear with me if we experience any technical difficulties. Um, Whether you've come to an in-person meditation group or not before, I'm so glad that you're here today. I know this is a really stressful time for everybody. It's a really intense time in so many different ways for everybody. Um, whether you're navigating the challenges of working from home for the first time or just figuring out what the coronavirus means for you and the future of your communities, the future of our society. We're all experiencing this together, and it's really overwhelming. I know we're all having different reactions to what this experience is like, but it, in a way, this is a collective trauma that we're all experiencing. So it's affecting all of us on different levels, and it's different for everybody, but there's an effect on every single person in our society right now, which is a completely new experience. I don't think we have really experienced something like this in our lifetime, and hopefully we won't ever again. So we're definitely making history right now, but I know for a lot of people, it's showing up like anxiety. That's what I'm hearing from people. Whether you've experienced anxiety before and there's a significant spike in anxiety right now, or you're experiencing anxiety for the first time, or maybe you're experiencing anxiety in a new way. There's so much uncertainty right now and so many unknowns. And anxiety really is just living in the future, like constantly future tripping. That sound was my refrigerator. So we might hear that sound throughout this, everybody. Just now you know what it's like to be inside my house. Um, so what I was saying, yeah, is that there's anxiety really is future tripping, that you're constantly living in the future, wondering what's going to happen. And right now, I think everybody is experiencing that because nobody really knows what's going to happen, which is really scary. So whatever you're feeling, I'm hoping that meditation can help today. There is a lot of research that shows that mindfulness and meditation can be really beneficial for anxiety and for dealing with uncertainty and for dealing with things that are outside of our control. And when I say mindfulness, I'm sure most of you have heard that term before, if not everybody. But I want to break that down. And the way that I'm going to define mindfulness right now is just being present in the present moment. And mindfulness means observing the moment without judgment. I know that sounds simple, but as we are all experiencing, it's not that simple. So when there's uncertainty, it's so easy to get stuck in those thoughts of what's going to happen next. You might feel yourself panicking about what's going to happen tomorrow. It feels like everything is happening so quickly. Like, I know I've been reflecting with people. It was just 2 weeks ago that we were not talking about this at all. And now all of this has happened. Now there's a shelter in place in Austin. Our whole lifestyle is completely different. And there's this anxiety about like what else is going to happen. And after this is over, if it is ever going to be over, after it's over, what is my life going to look like? What is my community going to look like? What is my workplace going to look like? What is the larger society going to look like? It's so easy. I'm even doing it right now. It's so easy to just like get sucked into those spirals. But mindfulness is about catching yourself in those spirals and coming back to this moment. So in this moment, I am not 2 weeks from now. I am not tomorrow. I am in my house with my refrigerator that makes that sound. I'm in my house with a lot of plants because I brought all the plants from the GCC to my house. And honestly, it's nice to be in my house. It's hard to be present with that, but it is nice to be in my house. And with mindfulness, you can experience mindfulness in terms of external experiences and also in terms of internal experiences. So I'm going to come back to that definition of mindfulness. It's being present in the present moment without judgment, without labeling what's happening. So I think a lot of like how this is showing up for people right now with those anxiety spirals is through coronavirus. Like every time you feel a little short of breath, you're like, is it happening to me? And that panic rises, right? And the goal with mindfulness is just to check back in with like, okay, feeling short of breath. It's not necessarily anything I need to worry about right now. If I do need to worry about it, I will know later on. But right now, I'm okay. I can check in with myself and stay present in this moment. So, thanks for listening to me talk for a while. I want to transition into a few more experiential things. So, first, what I'm going to do is we're going to do some different movement because when we're stuck in that anxiety, when we're dealing with all of this uncertainty, it is so hard to be in our bodies. Like we literally forget we have a body and get so caught up in all the spirals in our brain. So anything you can do to come back into your body can be really helpful. And a really easy way to do that is with movement. So we're going to do some movement together. And there's going to be 3 phases of movement. So the first one, I want you to stand up. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to step back from the screen. And you can join in as much as you want, as little as you want. So if any of this feels weird, you don't want to do it, or if it feels uncomfortable and your body's telling you not to do it, listen to your body. That's what I am encouraging most right now. Listen to your body, do whatever your body's saying. So first I'm going to have everybody, if you've been to my meditation group, we do the same stretches every week, so maybe this will be comforting. If you haven't, just follow along. Reach up towards the ceiling. You can't see my hands, but I'm just reaching through my arms. You wiggle your fingers a little bit. And just take a really big, deep breath. And then I want you to grab onto one wrist. Maybe you grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. And reach away from that wrist with your other hand. Just a side stretch. You can let your hip bump out a little bit. You can let your knees bend a little bit. And just reach. Feel that stretch down the side of your body. And just breathe into that side of your body, wherever you feel the stretch. And next, to the other arm. So grab onto your other wrist and reach the opposite way. And again, just take a deep breath into that side of your body. Next, you can bring your arms down and just reach back behind your back. So that might look like interlacing your fingers. Maybe your arms are kind of relaxed and you're just holding on to your wrists. Whatever feels good for you. The goal is just kind of to open your heart space. So that's a yoga term, but your heart space is just your chest. So when I'm reaching back like this, I'm opening up my chest. And just breathe into that space. And next, if it feels good for you, I'm going to invite you to just fold forward. You can do that with your hands still interlaced, like so. Just bend down forward. I hope y'all can still hear me. And you can let your hands hang. You can kind of shake out a little bit. You can sway from side to side. Whatever feels good for your body in this moment. You can bend your legs and kind of get a stretch in your hamstrings, or you can straighten your knees, kind of lock into your knees, and continue to reach down and get a stretch through the back of your thighs. And just keep breathing. When you come up, make sure you come up slowly. Your head's the last thing to come up. Just kind of wiggle that out. That might feel silly, but you're probably alone in a room right now. Maybe you're not, but just try wiggling. Why not, you know? And the next thing, you can stay standing. I'm just going to get closer to the camera to help out so you guys can hear me. The next stretch we're going to do, this is another one that I do in my meditation group, and it takes a little bit more direction. So I'm going to slow it down. You're going to reach your arms out. So your body's kind of making a capital T. And then you're going to bend your elbows. Just point your fingertips straight up towards the ceiling. Now you're kind of making goalpost arms, like a football goalpost. And then this doesn't work for everybody's body. And if it doesn't work for yours, that's okay. You're going to bring one elbow, maybe it's your left one, on top of the other elbow, like so. And if you can, bring your fingertips to your palm. If this doesn't work for you, you can kind of just try this stretch. The goal is just kind of to make some space between your shoulder blades. So if you're here with one elbow on top of the other elbow, focus on pulling your elbows away from you and up towards the ceiling. And you should feel that between your shoulder blades. And just take a deep breath into there. And when you're done with that, I'm just going to swap out your arms. So again, capital T, goalpost. And then this time I'm going to bring my right elbow on top of my left elbow. So if you're following along with me, it'll be right over left, but just do whichever one you haven't done yet. And again, just focus on bringing your elbows out into the room and up towards the ceiling. And then let that go. Just shake out my arms. The next thing I want to do is we're going to do 2 movements that we sync up with the breath. So that kind of helps us get prepared for meditation. On the inhale, you're going to raise your arms out until you reach that capital T again. And on the exhale, you're just going to bring them back down towards your side. It's really simple, but the goal is just to do some movement that's syncing up with your breath, so you can get a little bit more in tune with your breath. So on the inhale, reach up, and on the exhale, back down. Do that 2 more times. And then the next way we're going to do that is actually standing once more, and maybe you're still standing. This one's trickier, but maybe you can kind of have some fun with it. You're going to, on the inhale, rise up onto your toes. On the exhale, come back down to your heels. And try to do it slowly so that you're syncing with the breath. So inhale, exhale, and do that twice more. Inhale, exhale. Okay, and then the last thing I want you to do is something called intuitive movement. So it's just like what it sounds like. You're just taking a moment to check in with your body. So using that mindfulness that we talked about, checking in with your internal experience and just noticing what's going on with your body right now. So if it feels comfortable, just close your breath and check in. Close your breath, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Check in with your body. Are there any places where you're holding tension right now? And if so, what do those places need in this moment? It can be any kind of movement that works for you. You could, like before, just wiggle it out. Wiggle your arms, wiggle your legs. Maybe you kind of pat your legs down, pat your torso, pat your arms. Or maybe you just jump up and down, kind of shake some stuff up. I hope you guys can still hear me. There's nobody here right now, right? Maybe you're alone in a room. Maybe you're not. Maybe there's someone else with you. Maybe ask them to join along. Just do what your body wants right now. Just some kind of movement that works for you. So now we're 16 minutes in and we're actually going to meditate. You guys ready? Let me get my notes ready. The first thing you want to do, if you've never meditated before, this is a great time to start. If you have, I'm so glad you're here. First thing you want to do is just make sure you're comfortable. Just find a seat. I'm going to adjust my seat. Find a seat that works for you, that you think you'll be able to maintain for the next few moments. It's going to be about 10 minutes, and we'll wrap up right after the end of the meditation if you're worried about time. So just make sure your back is upright without being forced in any way. Find a posture that you can maintain comfortably. And if it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes. If not, you can just look down the table in front of you or the floor in front of you and fix your gaze on one spot. And we'll start off with some really big, deep belly breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe in, bringing the air all the way down into your stomach. And as you breathe out, letting every last sip of air leave your body or inhaling again. Then take 3 more breaths, this time focusing all of your attention on the exhale. Noticing every detail of the out-breath. The inhale is still there, but you're focused fully on the exhale. Maybe even extending it longer than you normally would. The exhale is the down-regulating breath. It calms and soothes the body. Whenever you're feeling particularly anxious or panicked, focus your attention on your exhale and extend it as long as you can. So with the next exhale, just allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm, in and out through the nose or whatever feels most comfortable for your body today. And just start to check in with the body once more. Feel the weight of the body pressing down into the chair beneath you. Feel your feet on the floor or wherever they are. Notice your hands and legs resting your hands and arms, resting on the legs or wherever they are. And just begin to really settle into the space around you. Notice any sounds you can hear inside the room or outside of the room, or coming through the computer audio through my room. And just allow those sounds to come and go, to pass over you. Staying mindful about them, not necessarily labeling them or describing them. Just taking a back seat, paying attention without getting too involved or resisting. Just notice those different sounds around you. And now, as you bring the attention back to the body, just notice how you're sat. Notice your posture. Notice how the body feels right now. We already checked in with the body a little bit, but this time we're going to take a longer look. Don't assume how you know how your body is doing, because it changes moment to moment. So just check in once more, just to see what's there. To help with this, we'll just gently scan down through the body, noticing each part without judging, without any attention, other than being interested and curious. So starting at the top of the head, just scanning down through the face, jaw, the neck and shoulders, chest, upper back, lower back, stomach, the hips and pelvis, the thighs, the knees, the shins and calves, the ankles and feet. Just checking in with what's present in the body in this moment. And now just shifting the attention to the breath, to the movement of the breath in the body. So just noticing one place in the body where you're most aware of the movement of the breath. It may be the rise and fall of the stomach or the chest, or it may be the sensation of air moving in and out through your nostrils. Just find that one place where you are most aware of the movement of the breath and rest all of your attention there for the next few breaths. And just notice the rhythm of the breath as well, noticing whether the breaths are long or short, deep or shallow. And just continue to follow the breath. If it helps, you can count the breaths with one on the inhale 2 on the exhale, all the way up to 10, and then starting back at 1. If you like, instead of counting, you could bring in a phrase or mantra that syncs with the breath, that feels soothing to you in this moment. Maybe it's just, I am here on the inhale, I am present on the exhale. Whatever works for you. By now, I'm sure that your mind has wandered away. Some thought may be tugging at your sleeve. And that's okay, that's natural. When the mind wanders, just gently, patiently bring it back to the breath and the movement of the breath in the body. If it's really an important thought, it'll be there later. Now, you're just focusing on being present with the breath and the body in this moment. You're still allowing the thoughts to come and go, but each time you notice you've gone down a rabbit hole of thought, just gently, patiently bring the attention back to the breath once more. And now let go of that focus on the breath, and for a moment, just let the mind do whatever it wants to do. Now bring the attention back to the body once more, feeling the weight of the body pressing down, the feet on the floor, wherever they are. And just start to become more aware of the space around you again. Any sounds you're aware of, any smells, any sensations against the skin of clothing or air. When you're ready, you can gently open the eyes. So, I know we're about at time. You might have a meeting to run off to, but just take 1 minute just to reflect on what that was like. Check in with yourself and notice if anything feels different than it did at the beginning. If you have any feedback, I'm going to try to do this again, so please send me emails and let me know if you couldn't hear me quite well, if you want something to be different. Very open to suggestions. I'm just so happy that you guys joined me here today. This is such a cool thing to be trying out. I know it's a really hard time. I'm thinking about all of you. And just do what you can to stay present in the moment. Don't let that anxiety carry you away. Just stay here. Check in with yourself. Stay mindful. Thanks, everybody.